Continuing with our quest for how different board game designers approach creating games and prototypes, I couldn't pass up the chance to chat with Vlaada. From heavy, complex Euros to party games, he really needs no introduction. We took a trip down memory lane, revisiting some of his published games, and we also delved into his programmer's approach to crafting his prototypes digitally. So when you have an idea for a game, how fast do you start prototyping?
When I have an idea for the game, I don't start prototyping.
Okay.
What I do when I have idea for the game is this. And I can do this like for weeks or months or years. I mean, idea is not enough to start prototyping, because an idea is something that needs to connect with other parts. Mm-hmm. And I usually imagine the game in my head and toy with the ideas and connect them, and sometimes move them for later use, and sometimes and then bring them back to connect with other ideas. Yeah. And when I have enough, then I still don't start prototyping. I start to writing things down, because what looked well before you really try to start to write it down, you always work with some upside. There will be some cards like this and so on. And once you start trying to really write down the cards, you see much more. Yeah, you can see it is not exactly as you imagined and so on. So that's another step. And then I start creating prototypes, but not like this. I am going with digital prototypes, because they give me much more options what to do, how to change, how dynamically develop stuff and so on. I can show you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Tashkar is one of the best examples how my digital prototyping looks like, because it was a game that I played like 200 times, myself against myself. I will show you how it is done. I just pick some two factions here and run the game. It shows me one of the players. Yeah, it is my turn as Highland. I will put some token here. It's my one action. Then I end the turn. And now it shows me the game from the perspective of the other player. So I can always like think, okay, now what I would do and so on. Yeah, it highlights me the things that are possible to do. I will probably surround this token here because I have Swordsmaster. Yeah, I can think as long as I can. I can just try to click quickly to test whether it works, or I can really think as if playing against a real player, except I need to forget I have some extra information. There's Clan Guardian. I will prepare Clan Guardian here, hoping that Red doesn't have Swordsman, which I know, Swordmaster, I know, but I need to think like I don't know. You can see it is highlighted here because I can cast it. That's a comfort that you don't have on the table, but I have it here to make the playtesting faster. I can turn off this thing when I show this digital prototype, because then I was also letting players play it online. Then I turn it off to see how it really works in the on the board. This is very comfortable way how to play prototype, because I don't need to have it somewhere on the table, and especially I can change easily some value, and next time I run the game, the card is updated, and or the code how it works. So that's it.
Is it easier for you to program than to physically make a prototype?
It's more entertaining. Yeah. But in the long run, it definitely pays off. Yeah, because I would probably not play that much games of. Oh, this is terrible. Pooh. Highland is cute. Poor Highland. Okay, so the point is that I can really play lots of game and like have feeling of what is interesting on the game, what's entertaining, yeah, what's more fun. After playing so many games, I also know what is problem, what I should remove, yeah, and then I print it and bring it to players really to play, and then I see more stuff. But when I bring the game to players, I'm already happy with it, which is very important for me because I know there are people that have some idea and print few papers and put it, give it people to test it for them, but I don't work this way. Yeah. Also, there's lots of comfort. I have statistics from my games. I can very easily like undo anything I do. Yeah. Back. I don't want to kill these. Yeah. Back. I won't kill these, and I can easily revert. Yeah, much more easy than a backtrack on the table. Yeah, I don't like it like this. There's lots of advantages in this, but it doesn't answer the question how it looks on table, and how it feels on table, how it plays on table. So that's next step. Well, this is not how it looked when I was developing it. Yeah, now it has like final art and so on. I updated it later. When I was developing the game, it was like it looked like this. It was generated grids with some Googled images because I like when even for myself I want to see some picture. So I found some and used it for my prototype. But as I've said, what's big advantage? If I decide it should be not this pattern, but this token should be here, I just change it in the my Excel file, click export, and next time I run, it has different shape. What you have seen was a finalized game where all rules were implemented. But when I am starting, I do rather some drag and drop prototype and automatize later. Yeah, for example, here I can break any rules just by moving stuff around, play any card, discard card, return card to the deck, flip card. I can do anything, yeah, move cubes, but only on the designated places. So this is more similar to tabletop simulator and so on. Yeah, but later I can continue with this and do a full implementation. Also, the card generator is implemented within the game, so it's not separate program. I can do basically whatever I want. For example, when I click end of the round, cards are automatically drawn to my hand and so on. So as I've said, my process is to play the game as long as I can until I am either happy with it or fed of it. Yeah. So and then it either ends up on this pile. These are prototypes that never made it.
Okay.
Sometimes still have potential. The ideas are still somewhere there, but I was not happy enough with them, or it ends up on the shelves. And in this box, there are some old prototypes, physical prototypes of games that were published actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and they are in various stage of development, but I always wanted my prototypes to look nice when I am showing them to people. Actually, even when playing it myself, yeah, mm-hmm. Because I want to have good feeling and atmosphere and so on. I will take a look inside. These are like prototype maps of my game, yeah, which I made in CorelDRAW years ago. There are various. For example, this is my old prototype of Space Alert, where this is not final version of the cards, but I tried to make sure they look interesting on the table, and when you meet some danger, it should look dangerous. So I googled some images for everything in the game. to look somehow interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like some very old prototype of dungeon pets. Oh, this is very early prototype of Dungeon Lords because it uses completely different layout, but the effect is already there.
By the way, do you usually have like a stash of components, like cubes and stuff to use, or do you custom make them for each prototype?
At the start, I was usually crafting them, or maybe even more often my wife was crafting them for me. But later I'm usually using some existing components. SCG is publishing more and more games. We have more and more surplus components I can use for this. And now also my daughter prints some components for me on 3D printer, and the options are even bigger now. And this is a map for Prophecy, one of my first board games. I didn't have like very good prototyping skills at that moment. This looks really like a map. This is prototype of my game Greenland, and these icons I draw for the prototype. Some of them made it to the first publishing of Tudor Ages. We needed a rock. I took this rock, and I think it remained there. I'm not sure exactly. And sometimes there was a game I was doing for local market, and this was the only time that happened to me that I created so nice pictures for the prototype. Then they decide to use it in the final game, and I didn't know it because if I would knew, I would make them nicer. But they liked it, so they published it with it. So.
Has your style and method of prototyping changed over the years?
Actually, not really, because it changed at the moment when I, for the first time, created digital prototype, and since then I'm prototyping every like heavier game using computer, and what develops are like, because my skills in doing this, but I was always like doing it the same way. I play myself until I am happy or scratch the project.
Oh, Mage Knight.